Oh, for Pete's sake, here I am working again without having my camera on. And I don't know why I do that. I think I just come in this room and I think I'm just going to play a little bit. And then I start, really getting, I'm like, oh no, what if these people, my friends, want to see what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Let me tell you what I've done. Hold on. What I've done is taken a drink of coffee. Oh, and I'm about to go hang out with a friend. And I need to put my guitar pick holder bracelet on because I'm going to take my guitar with me. I'm learning how to play and I'm going to show her what I've learned. Anyway, what have I learned? Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, it's Dawn with For Grace Creations. If you're new here, welcome. Sorry. I'm learning to play the guitar and I'm awfully excited. I'm 50. I've wanted to play since I was little. I was always told I had too short of fingers, which I do. My 11-year-old granddaughter's fingers are longer than mine. My 7-year-old grandson's fingers are longer than mine. It is true. It's hard to play, but it's practice, right? So anyway, I have learned the basics of how to play Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. You're my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Anyway, I want to show her because I'm so excited. And let's be real, she was with me when I got my guitar. So that being said, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Well, I was working. Remember, we started the thoughts of a new journal. So let's call this hashtag how do you do art, which means how do you interpret natural November with a side quest of neutrals. So for me, November means the possibility of snow. And snow is very natural. Hello. And I decided to attempt to make a fairly small one signature journal that is neutral snowman. Now, I don't really know how well this is going to work. And a lot of this, I am going to be using Junk Journal for Beginners, back to the basics, as well as Just the Bits to use up some of our scraps and all of our fun little bits, right? So it's kind of a combination of 3 hashtags. What I will try to do, if I can remember, is I will leave the playlists for all 3 of these down in the description box so that you can check it out. Okay, in case you want to go back. So I have these snowmen. The problem is, clearly it was either Happy Mail or a digital or something, and it's really thin. Just simple printer paper. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think I printed these out, and then I cut them out. And this is the cheapest. I think it's 20 whatever you call that, GSM or whatever of printer paper. You can go to the grocery store and buy basic printer paper. Well, that's all I can afford right now. So I printed it out on this, I think last year. It's flimsy. I want to reinforce these. And that's what I had started doing. And I thought, oh no, what if you don't know what to do with printables, like digitals? I do have some digitals in the works that are things that, let's see, not things I've created on a computer, but things I've created by hand that I'm putting into digital form for you, and they're going to be free. So keep an eye out on my Ko-fi site for that. That is my shop. I don't have an actual big website. So yeah, I'll link the Ko-fi site down in the description box below. But here's my sample. All right, little Frosty the Snowman, or whatever you want to call him. And all I did was took scraps and glued them all over. And then I started thinking, oh, wait a minute. I wanted this as writing space on the inside. So what I'll do is I'll go back with either some white acrylic paint or maybe some gesso. Let's just, you know what? Let's put this down. Let's try it really quick. I got to find my gesso. I don't want heavy gesso. Okay, let's see. And how about a paintbrush? I'm just randomly grabbing a paintbrush off the other desk. And this is Liquitex gesso. It's real thin stuff. And let's just take what's in the lid and dip our paintbrush in. And basically, anywhere there's little edges that you glued down, just put a little bit there to start with. Okay. There we go. And then start blending wherever, because you want a thin layer. Wherever there's words, just start blending it. Or maybe music notes, because it's going to give this really cool light layer. And then I have extra, so I'm just going to squash it around because I don't want it real thick. And I'll show you up close what that does. Hold on. I think we've got most of it. Let's put the lid on, and we'll put our paintbrush in water. Okay, so the difference is, okay, yes, you can still see the sheet music, the words. However, it dulls it back into the background. Let me show you. This is the sheet music scrap I used. Do you see the difference? Yeah, so it just makes it so the words don't pop as much. And you can write on gesso. Of course, now it needs to dry. So we will set this aside. And how did I do that? Well, let's just take one of these real thin guys. Now that we have gesso on here, yeah, let me refold this. This is just parchment paper. And I only have it here for protection on my desk. Because, you know, glue. So let's actually move it over. And all we're doing is grabbing different scraps and gluing them down. And obviously, because that's a very simple thing to do, I'm not going to do a lot. I'm just going to show you my basic, process. See, there's an offcut of a book page. Nothing on it. There's another little book page offcut. And I'm going to grab my stick glue, actually. And I'm just going to get glue all over that scrap. Hence the hashtag just the bits. We're using our bits. I'm going to put this right in the middle where that fold is, just to reinforce the fold, because I do plan to put this in my journal signature. So let's go ahead and get glue on these three, just to give you the basic idea of what I do when things are real thin. You know, how about we glue it over here? It doesn't really matter where we do it. We're just doing a collage of scrap paper. How about we'll take this one and we'll put that right there. Make sure it's pressed down really good. Maybe we'll put this one here. And then all you do is you just keep going, you know what I mean? Until the page is full, overlapping a little bit each little piece. See, watch, I'll go just over this one a little bit. And that's all you do. And you just keep going until it's done. And then let it dry before you fold it at that crease. Why? The stick glue needs time to dry, or it creates these weird bubbles. Now, I've got a wet baby wipe here next to me. I get my baby wipes at the grocery store or Walmart, because I get them in like bulk, in like packs of 4. If you have a Costco, Sam's Club, I don't know where you're at and what you've got. But basically, I just buy the cheapest I can find, because I'm not using it on a baby's bum, you know? All right, so let's set this aside to dry. And then I wanted to bring these in here. These are the pages that I know for sure that I'm going to be using in my journal. So I want to just lay them next to each other. And I want to see which one's the biggest. It's going to be these up here. And then this is the biggest of the digital. I want this a little shorter. I think it's too long. So, and I think we did that last video with this one. We did. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay all of these. What is this? Only 4 pages. Is that it, really? 4? Hold on. How many of these do we have? We have 2 drying. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I know why. I was going to add some other fun things. Okay. Goodness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to grab my ruler, And I'm going to get these to all line up. And then I'm going to take my ruler and lean it. Let me zoom in. Can you see? I'm putting it right next to that shortest piece of paper. Right there. And I'm going to press down here really hard. Get this pokey tool out. And just keep cutting till it's all the way through. Almost. There we go. Shut this so that you don't get owies. And look, now we have more scraps to play with. Yay! And then all of our pages are the height that we want them. Oh, zoom back out, Dawn. How tall are mine now? Just in case you're wondering, we have, they're 10 inches tall, and they are 4¼ inches wide. Yep. So that is that. Now, we did make our book page pocket here with a mini little belly band, and we made our tag. Okay. And then we made this bigger, tall book page pocket. See, we need something tall to go down in there, and we need some decor, but we're not doing that right now. So we've got that stuff done. I wanted to try one thing. What if you happen to have paper that is cute but won't work the way you want it? So like these two. What I could do with this, I could fold it in half and add it to inside, like that as part. But look, it's so short. And this is going to be a skinny journal anyway. So here's what my thought was. What I'm going to do, bear with me here. I got stuff everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this plain edge off and put it with the scrap paper. And then I'm going to take some of this off. Okay, and then I think I'll do the same here. Doesn't have to match perfectly. I just want a little bit of that off. There we go. So now that we've got a little of that off, what I'm thinking is that I actually want to put these together so that they fold and they can go in a journal. So this is one side and this is the other. I do think I want a little more off this side though. There we go. So how would I do that? Well, you line these up, in the center with a teeny tiny bit of space in there, just so you could put one of your hairs there. Then grab any book page, any scrap paper. I would not recommend too thick, but I wouldn't do, see how this is really thin because it's old? I wouldn't do too thin either. I'm thinking, since I've got this music paper here and it's a decent thickness, we could use this. Or, maybe you don't have anything very thick. Maybe you want to use sheet music, but it's thin. Here's what we can do. Set this aside really quick. We're going to take this, get our glue, our stick glue back out, okay? Let's reinforce this by simply folding it over once, okay? And then we just get glue all over it. Okay, and then, hello, get out of the way. Oh, I have a piece that fell off. Okay, and we're going to fold it in half. There we are. And it makes it just a little bit thicker. We don't want too thick. Like I said, a piece of scrapbook paper would be great, but not two pieces put together. So then we're going to come back here. We want to line these up to wherever we decide we want them. And then this is going to go in the center. But You have to decide how far on the edges of the paper do you want it to go. And it is going to be better if you take this and fold it in half so that you know where your crease is going to be at. Just for purposes of video, I'm going to go ahead and run this dark brown ground espresso in the middle, because now you can kind of see where that center line is, right? Hopefully I can fold it the same way, this way. Yeah. And that will be where our, you know, when the book closes, where it goes. And so all we're going to do is decide, let's see, what part of this sheet music we want. I see this says Jesus loves. Okay, I want to use that. So I'm going to measure, and then I'm going to go ahead and come here, and I'm going to make this paper like 1/8 of an inch shorter than this one. Just a tiny bit. Come on now. There we go. And then I do want to double check and make sure it's also a little bit shorter than this one. It is. Yay! Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. I am actually thinking I'm going to cut off some of this edge just so it's not quite so wide. And then I'm going to grab my art glitter glue here. And let's see. Oh, yeah, we were going this way because I want to see the Jesus loves me. Yeah. All right, so we're going to put glue on the edges and up the middle and just a little down. You know, we want it gluey. And we're going to take this and just glue, either put it down like this or you can put it down like this. It's up to you which one. Give it a good press, okay? And then turn it over, and we're going to get some glue here. Oh, that is way too much glued on. Okay, whatever. Too much glue. Yep. And then I'm going to take this one upside down, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, remember, when you're doing this, to leave a hair's worth between the two, so that you can fold it in a signature. Press that down real good. There we go. And check it out. We can fold this. Give this a good creasing. Okay. And it is now, once the glue dries, that is, ready to be a page in a journal signature. But now we have to stop and think. Remember how wide we're going? So it is too wide. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay my ruler right here, and I am simply going to tear this off. And then that one about there. And we have some really cool collage scrapbook paper now. In my opinion, it's cool. And then, really, we could put it on there like that. Or inside out, doesn't matter. But this is writing page. And this is something to decorate, right? Like, maybe this is the page that we want to put our little pocket on. Maybe not. I mean, it definitely is not tall enough for this one. Maybe it's a perfect height for something like this, where we're going to glue the back down and it's going to flip out. Now, I'm not going to do that because this is that gesso and it's raised a little bit, and I don't want to try and make sure the glue sticks. I like this page. We'll do something with it later. But that's how you can use two pieces of paper that aren't stuck together inside of a journal signature. This glue's a little wet, so I'm going to set it aside and let it dry a little. And one more thing I thought we could work on today let's see here is, do you have junk mail envelope? Is this even, where's it? Oh, it's open over here. Do you have a junk mail envelope? So this is tall, skinny. It's going to work perfect in this. Now, I could find another one of these and do what we just did with that other page and connect them together. So then it's actually a page in a journal. Or I could cut this off so that when we're done, we glue it down and it's a little, oh my gosh, pocket in our journal. But yeah, now that I just thought of that idea using two, I want to see if I can find another one. Yep. I found another one. They're not the same height, and that is okay. This one opens like that. So if that's glued down. Where's the top? Up here, okay. So if we connected them like that, one is a top pocket, one is a side pocket. That would be cool. And we could technically decide later what we're going to do. Let's do that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm just going to grab this. And this is the shorter one. So remember, we want it a little shorter than that. So let's just fold this down right there. And I want to make sure, see, it is a tiny bit shorter. And then I'm going to fold this one as well, leaving just a little bit of room. And now I can just rip those off where that fold is. There we go. Oh my, more collage paper here. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to throw away these pieces. I'm gonna keep this and these. I don't keep everything now, but most. So then, let's see. I actually think I'm gonna pull some of this off on this side. You could, see, we're gonna decorate this later, so I wouldn't necessarily do this, but if you've decorated everything, you could come in then and get some ink on the sides. I'm using Ground Espresso by Tim Holtz and Ranger. It is a Distress Oxide. Now, if you don't have any of this and you don't have money to go buy any, don't worry. Go look in your husband's closet and see if he has any shoe polish. Yep, I'm not joking. Or maybe you've got eyeshadow, brown eyeshadow you never wear. Go grab it. Use it. Why not? Okay, then where did I put my glue paper? Oh, it flew away. Okay, here's our mess making page. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to set these together. And no, I got to glue this first. I don't know what I'm talking about. Grab your glue stick. This is Darice all-purpose washable glue stick, non-toxic, acid-free. It is on Amazon. It's the least expensive I have found so far. If you get it in bulk, like maybe 3 to 6 of them, and it works just as good as Scotch Create glue stick or Yoo-Hoo glue stick. Yeah, I'm all about saving money. All right, let's line these up where we want them. No, I think up like that. Okay, my fingers are a little sticky. And then we'll plop this down, and you could grab an old gift card and spread it like this just to make sure your glue is really going to stick and make sure there's no bubbles in that paper. And of course, now we need to let it dry. But we now have, check it out, a signature. Yeah. And then we can just decorate all this. And how fun. We could see if you, we're at 24 minutes. Do we have time to decorate? I don't know if we do. Boy. You know what? Let's just do basic. So for this one here, I do want the opening on this side. So I think, but, hear me out. But I think what we'll do is we will see if we can get this open. Should have done this ahead of time. I didn't think about it. Open that envelope at the top, okay? And we are going to, oh gosh. Let me get a book page here. Okay. We are going to grab our stick glue. Let's just reinforce this opening and glue this flap down on the inside, okay? It just is going to help when people take things in and out of our pocket here. There, we've glued that on the inside. Now, obviously, we want something back there. What if we did something simple? That's not big enough. That is. So what we can do is just measure that. And let's see. Cut it off right about here. Yep. And we'll get our glue. There we go. And we're going to just glue that down on the inside. Make sure, no, come on, there we go. My glue oozes out. Do you see what I've done? That way, now when this is, you know, glued back together, let's just do it. Let's glue it back together. How did it go? Oh, this went here. Okay. Let's glue that flap back on there. Oh my. Hi, I'm Dawn and I used too much glue. Anyway. So, oh, darn it. We can still see that little itty bit. But that's okay. What that means is I screwed up. So we'll just take another piece and we'll just glue it on there. Oh, for Pete's sake, Dawn. Here we go. And let's just shove that. You know, that's the good thing about junk journaling. You can make mistakes and roll with it. That is why I don't do all of the perfect scrapbooking and card making, because I suck at measuring and perfection. I like fun, not stressful. So now we have, if you put something in this pocket, when you take it out, you at least have something there. You could decorate further. Let's see. I happen to have this little guy. Oh my gosh, you know what he looks like? He reminds me of, what's his name? I'm not going to tell you. Does he remind you of, do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. Anyway, I'm going to use this one because it's skinnier. Let's just do this guy. Come on. Light glue, Dawn. Light glue. I still think I used too much. And let's just plop him down in there. Of course, we have glue oozing out everywhere, so we'll come in here and wipe it off. Okay. Now we have the basic of the inside of the pocket, and you can decorate the outside by simply gluing scraps to it. You see? Do the same thing with the inside. This top one here, what I will do right now, to remind myself when I do go to decorate later, is I will cut a thumb notch. That tells me and other people to pay attention that this is a pocket. A pocket. And I think I'll even grab my ink just to remind myself for later. Because remember, I'm going to come back and I'm going to decorate this. This is going to remind me I need to, number one, make something to go in the pocket. And number two, that this is a pocket. Okay, now we could go along all the edges before we decorate in case the edges are seen in the end. And I won't decorate on camera because we're at 30 minutes. But what I can say is just go to town using your neutral scraps and have fun with it. And when you get to this window, only decorate around the window. Don't cover it up. That way, you can see something pretty on the inside. Now, I will go ahead and just go around the window like this for now, just in case. And then I'll do this side. But it does need to dry so it doesn't stick together. So that's the basics of that. And I hope that kind of helped you get some inspiration if you are doing a journal alongside of me. Do you want me to keep showing you things out of this or move on? Will you let me know in the comments? I would love, love, love to be doing something that you actually, can appreciate and learn from. Oh boy. Can we get that? Yep, we got it. And this one. There we go. All right, I am off to celebrate a friend's birthday and go shopping with her. The only thing on my shopping list is hand soap from Bath & Body Works. I actually, believe it or not, when they have a sale on their hand soaps, I go and I buy Christmas fun scented hand soaps for friends and family as fun little Christmas gifts, as well as I get one for my kitchen, one for each bathroom for myself. So that's the goal today, and I have a 25% off coupon for your whole order. I'm so excited. Yeah. If you ever shop at Bath & Body Works, it is beneficial to download their app and fill out the information because you earn points that get you free stuff. I actually have one free item, anything up to $16 today. I'm going to give that to my friend, let her choose for her birthday, but it's worth it. So peace out, guys. God bless you. And remember, Jesus loves you. This I know. Bye.